I'll take you through some reports we have. So we have our financial reports, some cash flow reports, supplier customers, and some building industry type stuff. I'll show you the big picture one.
So this is all custom built, like
This is all
designed this. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously there's your P&L information at a basic level, your break evens at monthly, what your average sales are, what you're over and under, bit of a snapshot on your cash drivers, liquidity, debtor days, etc. But the best thing about this is I can say, okay, but I just want to look at September, and I can click a button and all the numbers will change. And there you go. But then I can say, but I want to look at last year's and I want to look at it for 3 periods. And it all changes instantly.
Yeah.
Well, it should be instantly, and it's a bit slow today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, really powerful. And then obviously this is the sort of the covering page that we start with. And sometimes I don't even get past this for some people. But if I want to go into the detail, I can click on this. And then I can say, okay, I can look at P&L this year versus last year. These are different categories that we're using. And then I can say, look, I only want to look at these 2 months. And then I said, geez, our operational costs have come down. Why is that? I can click on a little button here and it breaks it all down. So it gives us some really strong flexibility. And then we can go to quarterly and pick up December, and we can do rolling quarters. So it's not locked in by financial years either. So we've got total flexibility. And you can actually get down here. You can actually right click on that.
So what's the purpose of that, Matt? Is this the comparative metric that's critical? Is to be able to compare previous months, previous quarters, previous years, instantly looking at where the trends are and whether you're aligned with where you were?
And a lot of the time is we'll look at the top line, the sales, and we look at percentages and GPs and all these other different cost type things. That's what they'll look at. And then I'll say, okay, operation cost is running at 1.5 versus 3.9, or, so, okay, no problems. Let's just move on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about more important type stuff.
Materiality.
Yes. I'm not sure if this one will work. It may not. But we can actually do a bit of what if and say, look, our collection days, this is a pretty good business on 7 days. But if that was 30 and took it down to 25, it'll actually map out the cash flow difference. And then you can click through here and we can actually build out, these are our good paying customers and these are our poor paying customers. So if we want to, so what I'm saying is by that, what I mean by that is that if our debtor days are 45, we want to get down to 30, that's good. How am I going to do that? Mr. Accountant. Okay, let's look at our poor paying customers. They're the ones that we're going to talk to. So I'm actually giving them a solution. Not just saying, take your debtor days from 40 to 45 to 30, because the business owner will look at you and say, you're a bloody idiot. How am I going to do that? Well, okay, well, let's look at who are the bad payers. And then we've got an action plan out of it, if that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, I can't bring this up. But then we do another one where we have different suppliers in here as well. And we do the same sort of information. Because this is a demo file, we haven't got that information in here. Oops, go back in. I'm just giving you a really quick snapshot, Cam.
Yeah. So with what you've designed here, Matt, this is obviously a work in progress over a long time.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, is this because I think people would look at this and go, wow, I want it. But then they're like, how do you even start? I mean, is it just that you just start with a base, okay, so then let's just get a draft. And then as you go along, you have different meetings with clients and you go, I'm going to put that in there and I'm going to put that in, you're sort of tweaking it as you go as well.
Correct. And we had a lot of this stuff sort of built on itself and then we just automated it.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to key it into a data sheet. We just automated it. This one I love, probably one of my favorite ones. So we do look after a huge number of builders. So we have a bit of a heat map where we look at profitability versus the size of a house, and it gives us our top 5 most profitable jobs. Then we can click in.
That's coming from tracking categories, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've got a little sneaky method that once the job's complete, we can put in the square meter rates and then it pulls that out. So we can say, okay, this house was 420 square meters. The sale price was 1,100. Cost price is 841. What our GP is per square meter.
So how much of this, Matt, has changed the way are you not always looking after the bookkeeping? I mean, just the thought process on chart of accounts and tracking categories and this type of thinking behind how you bookkeep, is that changed a lot? Because
not really. No.
Because you're already doing it anyway.
Already been doing it forever.
Because you were actually for Excel.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually train our clients in Xero, and we don't charge them for it. The better they are at doing that, the better this information is going to be, and the quicker we can do the job. It's a pretty simple process. Now, I work with all the builders I work with. This is the main report we go through, because if we get this right, we know everything else is right in the business, because everything else falls out. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Now, we spoke about a little bit about operational data. So here's we've got simPRO management reporting system. So with these, all the reports that we've built out.
Go full screen.
Sorry?
Go full screen.
Oh, that is full. Oh, okay. Full screen. Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's great.
So this is our management reporting system that we've built out for this particular client. And this is just a demo version. So we've manipulated the data, but we can, look at, for example, monthly closed off jobs. What's invoice, actual GP versus quoted price, all the different things. So we can look at variances and all that type of stuff. And often, obviously, in a real life scenario, you'd have lots of jobs in here.
Yeah. Which really comes down to that difference between that Xero data versus this simPRO data. It's a lot. That's your margins per. It's not just margins overall, it's margins per individual sale or line item.
Correct. And then we can look at different jobs and look at, okay, these are quoted costs, these are actual costs spent to date, what budget's remaining and all that type of stuff. So we're getting a lot of, simPRO is a great program, but it can be very complicated. So we've tried to dumb it down for people. And we can do like cost center analysis, what was spent on shipping versus allowed, labor costing, actual costs versus what we allowed. So, we've got all these different variances. So this gets really into the operational type stuff. I'm not sure if we've got a labor report in here. I'll just see if we have. Yeah, okay. So this is where labor is obviously one of the biggest things to track on a job. So, we might know there's an hours allowed of 490, but we've used 309. And obviously, sometimes we have a data entry point where the client puts in how much the job's complete, and they can identify whether or not we're over or under on labour hours, which is really super important at the moment.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, so, but obviously with a demo file, you don't get the true benefit of it, but you can see that what we're doing. So we're building similar stuff out to Airflow at the moment.
So can I ask you a little bit with this simPRO data and with your clients talking about instant reporting versus this sort of next day? I mean, like a common theme I get is that people want to put this report up on the television screen across, if it was a POS system, or they want to instantly know the sale. I mean, this is something that I've had to explain is that APIs don't work like that. We don't have a live feed coming into the system. It's a regular refresh.
I think that's a bit of bullshit, mate. I probably shouldn't swear, but you might think as an accountant, I want this stuff instantly. But the clients don't look at it instantly, ever. Mate, they might look at it in the morning and in the afternoon. That's all they might look at it. They're bloody busy doing whatever they want to do. So it's the account thing, we want to have it instantly. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I fall in that trap as well. But they haven't got time. Obvious information takes a bit of a while to get into the system. So they don't need it instantly. It's nice to have it daily or weekly, to be honest.
So daily and weekly, you can still be finger on the pulse, making changes to the business. It doesn't need to be this live stream.
No, I don't think so, mate. Not from my experience so far, Cam. Yeah. And this is a classic job. So here we go. We've got equipment allowed on this job at 390, but it's cost us 415. So we've gone over budget. This is the stuff that you need to know in advance. Unfortunately, I don't think, sorry, I'll go back to full screen for a sec. I don't think we have it in here at the progressive job report. Yeah, it probably hasn't got all, did it again, hasn't got all the detail in here. So we're looking at, these cost overruns in a really deep way. Pretty hard to demo that in this demo file. And then obviously we can actually give these reports to different people depending what we want to do.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, mate.
Excellent, man. Well, thank you for sharing that.